McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds.
Take her down to the jail now.
Why am I being arrested? What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest.
This is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. Henry, 24 TRD 819. Ms. McHenry entered no plea to charges of no operator's license and expired plates, each of which is a minor misdemeanor, on December 17th, 2024. I scheduled it for a bench trial for January 8th of 2025. Ms. McHenry was given notice of that bench trial. I have a signed receipt in the file showing she got notice of that bench trial. Present on January 8th, 2025 was the law director along with a police officer. Ms. McHenry failed to appear. As a result of her failure to appear, I issued a warrant for her arrest. That was January 8th. It's now over a month later, February 11th, and Ms. McHenry is now turning herself in on the warrant.
Okay, let's break this down. Miss McHenry was charged with minor misdemeanors, no license, expired plates, but she's acting like this is a capital case. Why? Because she's a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen. That's a movement where people believe they're exempt from government laws. And that signed receipt the judge mentions? That's the paper trail that just destroyed her "I didn't know" defense. But here's the question. If she got notice, why didn't she show up? Conspiracy? Confusion? Or just classic sovereign citizen strategy?
She is in the courtroom, and she is without an attorney. Ms. McHenry, why were you not here on January 8th of 2025?
I have a question about the case.
Ms. McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
I have a question about the case. That's not the case number that I had.
Yes, it is, Ms. McHenry. You've got other cases pending that are set for jury trial.
The original case number that I had was like TDR, like 0800 something. And
24 TRD 819.
819. Okay. I was just double checking on the case number.
A warrant issued on January 8th, but she turns herself in over a month later? That's not how this usually works. Most people get arrested immediately after a warrant, but Miss McHenry strolls in, no lawyer, no apology, just questions. And the judge is not having it. Notice how he cuts her off every time she tries to take control. This is a power struggle, and the judge is winning. But why is she here now? Did she think she could talk her way out? Or is there something bigger at play?
Can you repeat your question then? No.
Why were you not here on January 8th?
I put in an appearance, and it was rejected and struck from the record, and I was sent a letter saying that I am not who I said I was. So I have a question about that because I don't understand.
This is not a discussion here. This is not a conversation. I ask a question, you respond to my question. Now, this is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. At least you claim to be.
I've never claimed that.
Well, your documentation that you filed, including the one you filed today that did not have a correct caption or case number on it, is indicative of that. So let me ask you, Ms. McHenry, again, why were you not physically, personally present in the courtroom on January 8th, 2025 for your trial?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official in this case who is acting as a public servant to be put on the record. And I also require...
Bingo, the judge just called it out. This is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. And that's the key. Sovereign citizens love to file bizarre paperwork, question jurisdiction, and demand oaths from officials, just like Miss McHenry is doing here. But here's the thing, courts hate this. Judges see it as a delay tactic, not a legal argument. And when she starts talking about oaths and bonds, she's not just stalling, she's digging her own grave. But is she really a sovereign citizen, or just using their playbook?
The indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds. Please, for the record, let it be known that you exited.
I did. I exited the courtroom and asked a police officer,
Who
probation
has
officer.
the indemnity bond? Where's the bill of particulars?
The
Because
bond
I
is
did not receive it.
the warrant is being executed. You're being taken into custody. Take her down to the jail now.
I was not given the warrant.
Take her down to the jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Take her down to the jail.
What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest.
Stop fighting.
No, this is a false arrest.
Okay, relax.
This is kidnapping. They're violating my rights, my constitutional rights. I put in,
I thought the Constitution didn't apply to you.
the Constitution applies to every living man and woman.
Yeah.
You are violating your oath, Mr. Iarocci.
I'll take her stuff.
What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for?
This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest. Miss McHenry is screaming about her constitutional rights, but here's the irony. The Constitution does apply to her, and that's exactly why she's being arrested. She skipped her trial, ignored a warrant, and now she's resisting arrest. But let's be real, her constitutional rights argument, that's Sovereign Citizen 101. The real question is, does she actually believe this, or is she just performing for the camera? Either way, the jail door is closing. And folks, this is why you always show up to court.